All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. You need to know how to create a proper Works Cited page here for your research paper as well. Remember, anytime you use somebody else's work, you have to give credit where credit is due. Part of that is in a properly formatted Works Cited page. Now, remember, in MLA format, that is what it is called. It is called a Works Cited page. Not references, not bibliography. It's not a list of sources. It is a Works Cited page. So that should be the title of this page. It should be a separate page. It should have a centered title that's the same size and font as everything else. I'm going to show you a couple of resources here today that are going to help you create your Works Cited page. Now, let's assume that you've got a list that's very similar to this. You've got your articles, your scholarly journals, all of your sources put together, and now you need to figure out how things are going to go. Now, again, this all needs to be in alphabetical order by the first letter of your first source, right down here. So the first thing we need to do is alphabetize things. If you've got it all on a Word document, the easiest way to do this is just to highlight it, and then you click on it and you can drag it where you want it to go. So, alphabetize by the first letter of the first word in your source. Next thing you need to do is check the whole thing. Again, your whole paper should be Times New Roman. It should be size 12. It should be double spaced. You want to also then remove that space after paragraph. Okay, so now that's almost correct. Again, first line should be centered, and it should say Works Cited. Now, no italics, no underlines, no nothing special, just Works Cited centered on the page. Now, the next feature that a Works Cited page has that's a little confusing to some people is what's known as a hanging indent. Okay, normally you put your cursor on the first line of the paragraph and you hit tab and you indent the first line. That's not how you do a Works Cited page. Works Cited page has what they call a hanging indent. So your first line is always up against the margin. Every other line in the source is indented. But if you just put your cursor on the second line and you hit your tab key, it moves the whole thing over. That's not what you want to do. So Microsoft Word has this funky little thing where each line is connected to the previous one. You got to put your cursor at the beginning of the second line of your source and hit enter, and all that does is break that source away, or break that line away from the one above it. Now you hit the tab key and it moves over just fine, and you do that with every other line in your source. So we'll go through all three of our sources here, and we'll do that. And it's a really simple process once you actually get used to it. So there you go. All three of our sources on a proper Works Cited page. It says Works Cited up here at the top. You've got everything double spaced. You've got your hanging indent, and we're all alphabetized. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. Remember what I said about Works Cited pages and InText citations. You always create your InText citation based on the first thing you have in your source. Now you'll notice in each one of these sources, we've got a title here, we've got an author here, we've got a title here. So if you're going to create a InText citation, this would be your InText citation for this source. This would be your InText citation for your second source. This would be your InText citation for this third source. That's where you find this stuff, guys. If you are ever confused about any of this, one of the absolute best sites that you can use is Purdue's Owl. It's known as the Online Writing Lab through Purdue University. If you just Google Purdue Owl, this first source right here, owl.purdue.edu, that is going to be what you need. Now over on the left-hand side over here, right over here, you're going to see all these different topics. You want research and citation. You're looking at MLA style. You want the MLA formatting and style guide. And then you see they give you all these different things. They'll even give you a sample Works Cited page. So you click on that. You'll scroll down, and this will show you exactly what a sample Works Cited page should look like. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you are citing all of your sources as you go. Make sure you keep track of your sources. Remember, when you're looking at a finished draft of this paper, it should be 5 pages, 5 sources, and all should be following the fundamentals of MLA format. Size 12 font, double spaced, 1-inch margins, proper header, which is your name, my name, class and period, and date. That's the first 4 lines of the paper up there on the left-hand side. Line 5 is your centered title. Line 6 starts the main body of your paper. And you need your last name and page number in the upper right-hand corner of each one of your pages. You guys are doing a great job. You keep working on your stuff. Keep sending me questions and keep asking for help in edits and how to make your paper longer. And we're going to keep working on through this process, guys. Remember, deadline for submission for your final drafts is going to be Tuesday, March 31st. And I'll be in touch with you to let you know exactly where you need to submit those. If you need to email them to me or put them in an online Dropbox or whatever, we'll figure it out. Let me know if you have questions, guys. Keep working hard. I hope to see you soon.